All right, thank you all for tuning in here. I know plenty of you waiting on that 6 o'clock start. I think this will be closer to a 6:45 start. For all of you watching here, there was a 1 hour lightning delay in the middle of the day. There is still not a guarantee of good weather for most of this game. It is looking like there is a perpetual rainstorm or perpetual thunderstorm that should be crossing the Rapid City area very soon. That is going to be the Weather Channel or Weather.com has has the thunderstorm starting at about 9. So we're definitely on the clock because that is supposed to be a thunderstorm, which would clearly derail our stuff. And it is likely not going to stop until the morning. So that's the situation. But we have today another winner's bracket game here. The Post 22 Hardhats, the host team from Rapid City, South Dakota, they're going to be facing the Fargo Post 2 team from Fargo, North Dakota, the state champions of that state. Doing a great job out here. They are 43-7 in this season. The Hardhats come in 48-23 after a win over the Elkhorn South the Elkhorn South Storm Gold team from the runner-up from Nebraska. That team has since been eliminated. Fargo got a 6-2 win over the South Dakota State champion Harrisburg. So considering the Hardhats did not even make it to the state championship in South Dakota, you would have to consider Fargo a favorite going into this game. But I would argue that PDG Gold was a favorite in the last game. So I'll get you a bracket here in just a minute, and we'll get lineups as we do. But the Hardhats going to play this Fargo team. Pretty tough. Everybody warming up, as you can see. I'm Oliver Fell here, bringing you game number 4 of Post 22 Hardhats. We just broke a viewership record by a mile. Previous record was 290, and we hit 430 in the last 430 viewers in the last stream. So at least this is all the record for me. There might have been like 1,000 view video at some point for somebody in the past of Hardhats TV, but for this era of Hardhats TV with Oliver Fell behind the mic, it has been that's a clear record. I can't wait to see what we'll get tomorrow. That's crazy. So we've had 3 great games today. All of them come down to the wire. I'm going to edit together the new bracket, updated. Carpetland turned the tables on St. Michael in that last game. Plenty of fans pouring into Fitzgerald Stadium here tonight to watch their Hardhats try to make a big upset here. Not starting early, and still projected for 6:45. But it's not going to start at 7. The 7 was just a guess. We're still trying to move that thing up so that we don't have to compete with the big thunderstorm later in the afternoon. Yeah, Post 2, great team here as well. The Post 2 and Post 22, the 2 teams with the most regional wins / Legion World Series appearances. The Hardhats have 8. They also have the most state championships of any team since World War II, with 44 state titles in just the 1960s to now. Then you've got the Fargo Post 2 team. They've got 29 state titles. They've made it to 4 Legion World Series, and they were runner-up as recently as 2019. So both these teams, great tradition all around. Eden Prairie going to get a championship game rematch in the losers bracket tomorrow for Minnesota, because Eden Prairie going to face the St. Michael Mikes, who they had to face in the championship game of the Minnesota State Regional, or the Minnesota State Tournament. In that one, St. Mike's came out on top narrowly, 5-4, to secure the state title. Now in the elimination game of this regional tournament, they will get to fight one more time. See if they can make a comeback.
Red and solo?
We need two. No, we'll be fine. Okay.
An extra one, you can just take
Yeah, sure.
So, I was wondering. Charlie Gallbrenner is on the mound today. That's going to be something special. On the mound for the Hardhats, Palmer Jacobs. And we'll get you those lineups here in a moment. But first, let me make this bracket up. There will be 3 games tomorrow. The winner's bracket game will come last, and the 2 losers brackets will come first. The 2 elimination games, that is. Tomorrow, at the end of tomorrow, we will have just 4 teams. And just 1 undefeated team. %50 chance that one of these teams will be that undefeated team. And some solid odds that one of these teams will not be standing tomorrow at the end of the day. So today we've had a whole bunch of thrillers. Here, let me give you that. Let me get you the bracket first before I run it over. All right, right here. Apply. If you missed that last game, I feel bad for you. It was a heck of a game. So, sending that to myself real quick. And I will get you that. I'll get you starting lineups in a moment. I believe this game will start 6:45. That is my impression. 6:45 Mountain. So for Fargo people, that's 7:45 for you. I know there are plenty of you in the chat today trying to support Post 2. Alright, let me download that real quick. I did, and you're going to see some of the back end of this here in a moment. I'm sorry for showing you the back end, but that's just what you're going to see here on Hardhats TV. So, yeah, I know. Close your eyes. You didn't see me have to move it. So here we are. This is the bracket here today. And the Post 22 Hardhats are going to face the Fargo Post 2 team for a chance to move on. But as you can see, 3 games all decided by 2 or fewer runs. We started out the game with a real pitcher's duel between Williston's Caden Finders and the starter for the Harrisburg Gold. And then there was a pretty good game all around for the Elkhorn Storm, who took an early Elkhorn South Storm, who took an early lead in their game. Eden Prairie ended up coming back, winning that one 6-4. And then the 3-2 game that just happened, that was all of Carpet Land. They were down 2 runs. It was a scoreless game going into the 5th. 2 runs scored by St. Michael. 3 runs come across on a 3-run shot from the Kansas State commit, A.J. Avasco, for Carpetland. And then the Carpetland Spartans ended up holding on to that. They had a full game, a complete game, 2-run win coming from the starting pitcher, Chase Nelson. on the other side, Zachary Helinski put up a very good game for St. Michael, but it did not matter. That single home run would be the downfall of this team. So as you can see, the winner will play against that Carpet Land team, the state champions from Nebraska in the winner's bracket. The loser will play an elimination game against Harrisburg. Interestingly, if the Hardhats were to lose this, they would not be playing a rematch of anything. They never played Harrisburg. Harrisburg only played 14 in-state opponents, and all of them were home. We were not one of them. We never met them in a tournament, and we didn't get far enough in the state tournament to face them at all anyways. So, it just didn't happen. I have the Hardhats on the wrong color real quick. Whoopsie. I didn't know what they were going to wear, to be fair, when I made the graphic. There you go. A nice little blue-purple. Supposed to be royal blue. That's a little better. Alright. So there we go. I love the black for Fargo. I could use maybe a white outline on their letters, though, make it a little more readable. I put a white outline on their letter in the scoreboard. Anyways, so now, post 22 Hardhats. Winners bracket on August 5th. If the is that still a loser out if the undefeated? No. That would mean if the undefeated team loses, then they still advance to the championship anyways. It would mean that the team that beat them and the team that won the other 25th game, or the August 5th game, here, let me put it up on the score again. So if that were to happen and the winner lost in that August 5th game, they would be set aside and they would wait while the team that beat them with one loss and the other team from the losers bracket on August 5th would play one another in the morning on the 6th, and then we'd play a second game for the championship between that team that was undefeated and upset and whoever won that game. So there would be 2 games on the championship Sunday if that were to happen, if we had 3 teams left after the 5th. So that's what happens. The Hardhats, definitely the team to watch here. We have not... Hardhats the only team never to reach their state championship in the game here. They were upset early in the South Dakota State Tournament. They lost... they were down 4-2... They went 1-2 out there. They were tied for 5th place at the tourney of just 8 teams. Post 22 Hardhats, not normally that team, but they did get in by virtue of hosting the tournament. They got a somewhat easy opponent last night. This is not going to be the same. Really going to have to dig deep here. So I have our starting lineups. So for the Fargo Post 2 team, coming into the game at 43-6, and North Dakota State champions didn't lose a single game in the state tournament. Leading off is Sam Ovshock. The catcher. Second is going to be the second baseman, Landon Meyer. And then at third, in the third hole, we will see shortstop Connor Holm. He made a couple errors in the last game, but other than that, good hitter. And then the big, hard-hitting right-hander, or left-hander, Charlie Kalbrenner will be on the mound and batting cleanup. He had 5 home runs in the North Dakota State Tournament, I hear. So now then at the 5 hole will be the center fielder, Jordan Leininger. All right, and then at the 6 hole will be Jackson Byswinger. Byswinger, the third baseman. At the 7 will be the first baseman, Jonah DeYoung. First time we've seen him here. He did not play in the other game. DeYoung is playing first, batting 6th, or batting 7th. If you're setting a scorebook here. Brady Banley is back in the lineup. Manley going to be in left field today, batting 8th. And finally at the 9 is Wyatt Kozadowski, who's playing right field. And again on the mound is Charlie Kalbrenner. So those are that. I will repeat those at the end once I'm done writing down all of the lineups here. Yeah, I believe 6:45 will be our start. I'll check on my phone though. See if I got anything from Wayne. Nothing from Wayne. But we will see. That game ran kind of quick because there weren't a lot of hits in it. That game before us. Both the managers coming out to exchange lineups right now. We might get done. We might start even sooner than 4:45. Anyways, post 22 Hardhats. The hosts and home on the scoreboard. Oh no, they're away on the scoreboard. Huh. Whoops. I assumed that since they were the home team, they would be the home, but they are going to be away on the scoreboard. They come into the game 48-23 with a 27-6 record at home. They haven't lost at home in quite some time, actually. They also haven't played a ton of games at home, though. Aiden Roberts will lead off the Hardhats. He'll be playing second base here. Then designated hitter Wyatt Reeder, the freshman, will be at the 2 hole. We have right fielder Harry Good is going to be in right and batting 3rd. First baseman Alex Dietrich will clean up. This is a pretty standard Hardhats lineup. Then at the 5 hole we have Hayden Hollick. The third baseman. Then center fielder Ridge Inhofer will be 6th. This is an identical lineup to last night. Oh wait, we're getting ready right now. How about that? We are rushing it.
This game features the home team on the scoreboard tonight. Fargo pulls 2.
I'm gonna write down everything so that I can get it done faster without talking. So just wait a minute.
Mother Nature. Let's meet the Fargo Post 2 defensive players. At first base, number 16, Jonah Young. At second base, number 2, Landon Meyer.
So the Hardhats lineup. We'll get you there first. I'll give you their lineup, and then I'll get you the Fargo lineup. So leading off for post 22 Hardhats will be second baseman Aiden Roberts, followed by designated hitter Wyatt Reeder, right fielder Harry Good. At the 3, cleaning up, first baseman Alex Dietrich, 5 hole, third baseman Hayden Hollick. Center fielder Ridge Inhofer is 6th. Catcher Philip Bentz was 7th. 8 hole is left fielder Zeke Farley, not Aaron Roach. And shortstop Wilson Kiefer will be 9 with Palmer Jacobs on the mound. So the first 3 for the Hardhats: second baseman Aiden Roberts, designated hitter Wyatt Reeder, right fielder Harry Good. The middle 3, first baseman Alex Dietrich, third baseman Hayden Hollick, and center fielder Ridge Inhofer. And then the bottom 3, catcher Philip Bentz, left fielder Zeke Farley, and shortstop Wilson Kiefer, with Palmer Jacobs on the mound. For the Fargo Post 2 team here, leading off for them, catcher Sam Ovshock, followed by second baseman Landon Meyer. Shortstop Connor Holm will be third. The pitcher and cleanup man Charlie Kalbrenner will be fourth. Center fielder Jordan Leininger will be at the 5 hole. Third baseman Jackson Beiswanger will be sixth. The first baseman Jonah DeYoung will be seventh. Left fielder Brady Manley will be eighth, and right fielder Wyatt Kozadowski will be ninth, with Charlie Kalbrenner on the mound. So to recap, first three for Fargo Post 2, Sam Ovshock, the catcher, second baseman Landon Meyer, and shortstop Connor Holm. The middle three, pitcher Charlie Kalbrenner, center fielder Jordan Leininger, and third baseman Jackson Beiswanger. And the bottom three, first baseman Jonah DeYoung, and left fielder Brady Manley, and right fielder Wyatt Kozadowski will be the 9 hole with Charlie Kalbrenner on the mound. We are getting ready and we are set to go. So top of the first now. We are really moving into this thing quick. Not taking any chances. So Aiden Roberts' first pitch from Kalbrenner is a strike. Kalbrenner, a lethal hitter on the other side of things for the Hardhats. Or for Post 2, that's a strike. I would argue Post 2 possibly the strongest in this region based off of the win-loss record and what I've seen of them. Carpetland, great too. So is St. Michael. Any of those can come out of it. The Hardhats definitely would be a Cinderella run to the title, having not even gotten to their state title game. That being said, they had a really good out-of-state record this year. Just maybe not so good in-state. 0-2. Fouls that one off. Also, the home field advantage cannot be understated. That's reached on and hit into shallow center. Caught by the center fielder. Out number 1 recorded. Bringing up Wyatt Reeder, the freshman who batted 400 this year. I don't know if he's still batting 400. Reeder puts down a bunt. It is going to be handled. Throw to first in time from the catcher Ovshock. That'll be out number 2. So 2 quick outs now. And the 2-3 put out there. So 2 quick outs for Kalbrenner and Fargo Post 2 to start out this game. It'll bring up Harry Good, possibly the best hitter in South Dakota this year. He went 2 for 3 last night. Brought in 2 runs and had 3 runs himself. So Harry Good, first pitch ball, takes a strike. So now looking at a 1-1 from Kalbrenner. Hardhats jumped out the gates kind of well, though they were down in the game at that point against the Post 2 team, or the Elkhorn South Storm team from Elkhorn, Nebraska. They went down 4-0 early and then rallied to get up 6-0 or 6-4 in the middle of in between the second and third inning. So now 3-1. Good. Swings on one. He'll hit that one into left center. It'll get down, and the Hardhats get their first hit of the game. Very good. Comes through with a single. Bringing up Alex Dietrich. Alex Dietrich, 1 for 2 in this series. 1 for 2 with a double, 2 RBIs, and a walk. Dietrich, a quintessential cleanup man, a lot of power brought to the lineup, but he's also a pretty good hitter. Hitting about the 320 area in this year, while slugging, I would assume, maybe not Harry, but at least second best on the team. He is second on the team in home runs, has 1 million doubles this year. A real big power hitter at the first base position. Also an incredible defensive first base. He's being looked at by several colleges at the moment. He's going on his senior year in the fall. That's going to be nubbed over to second. Play is made. Out number 3 recorded, so Harry Good's single falls on deaf ears, and we go into the bottom of the first. The Hardhats looking for the Hardhats unable to score in the top of the inning. Now Palmer Jacobs coming to the mound. Fargo will get their first chance. They jumped all over the team from Harrisburg. They put 4 runs, or not Harrisburg, they beat Eden Prairie. So they jumped all over Eden Prairie, put 4 runs on the board early, and just kind of, or 3 runs on the board early, and just kind of rode that for 5 innings. They didn't score any more runs between innings 2 and 5. But then in the 6th, they put up 1, and then they put up 2 more in the top of the 7th, making it a 6-4 game. But no matter what, they gave themselves an early lead and were able to protect it for 5 innings, even if the offense went cold. So look out for that.
Number 14, Harrison Good. Behind the dish is Mr. Philip Metz, designated hitter, and Wyatt Reader, and on the mound for post 22, number 19, Palmer Jacobs. Fans, please give a round of applause for your umpires tonight. Behind the plate, Mr. Tim Higgins, and first base side, Eric Ruler, and on the third base side, Mr. Connor Whitcraft. Thank you, umpires. Leading off for Fargo, the catcher, number 6, Sam Osha.
Okay, I got the lineups, or I got the stats down for one of the teams. So Offshock leading off here. He was 1 for 3 last game with a run and a walk. And he also had a stolen base. So ball. Palmer Jacobs pitching his for sure final game of Legion baseball tonight, assuming he even goes. Yeah, no matter what, he's pitching at least 30 pitches, and he is going to. He's a super senior. This is definitely his final game of Legion baseball. He is a super senior out of Mount Marty University, out in Yankton, South Dakota. 2-0. Up and away. Palmer Jacobs, shaky to start things out. 3 pitches, all outside to Sam Offshock. It'll be a 4-pitch walk to start things out for Offshock. I do indeed have it wrong. I forgot that they switched the teams around. I forgot Fargo was home here. It feels wrong. That's taken for a ball. So Palmer Jacobs not finding the zone right now. Taken outside. So Palmer Jacobs, 6 consecutive balls to start out this game. So there you go. Fixed the scoreboard. That's going to be a strike. So Palmer throws his first strike of the ball game. 2-1. Still looking for his first out. As Landon Meyer stares him down. Meyer 1 for 3 last game. Did draw a walk in that one. 2-1. Taken high, so we get to a 3-1. And that'll be another walk. So Palmer Jacobs having some trouble out the gate here against Fargo Post 2. He walks the first 2 batters. Can't let this team start out hot on you if you're the Hardhats. Warming up in the bullpen. They're going to take Lee Negebauer out there just in case they need to pull Palmer super early. He's showing signs of being flustered. He's a big start out the outing kind of ugly, finish it strong kind of guy, but I don't think that'll work here against Fargo. Up comes Connor Holm. Holm went 1 for 4 in the last game with an RBI. So a 0-1, high and outside, we go to a 1-1 count. If I seem a little distracted, I'm just trying to get all the stats down for everybody. Fouled off by Holm. Make it 1-2. Are we really going to hit 1K? That's awesome. I didn't even realize. We were only at like 780 a few weeks ago, but I know a lot of people here watching. I'm sure that'll drop back down after the tournament, but I don't mind. 1-2. We'll get to 1,000. That's some special permissions on YouTube, which are nice. So 1-2. Fouled off by Holm. We go to 1-2 now again. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Palmer Jacobs able to fold home there, and that'll be out number 1. So still 2 men on, but now 1 out. Two men on the bases, and coming up is the home run hitting lefty, Charlie Kalbrenner. Up and outside, so he sits on ball 1. Kalbrenner was 1 for 2, got a walk, a hit by pitch in the last game. Also had a double as his lone hit. So 1 out. Inside, make it 2-0. Thank you all for tuning in to Hardhats TV here. Biggest game of the season so far for the Post 22 Hardhats. 2-0. Fouled off. Make it 2-1. So Palmer Jacobs behind in the count just a little, 2-1. Up and outside, make it 3-1. Patience being shown here by Kalbrenner. He wouldn't mind loading the bases with 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Palmer Jacobs does have a good mindset, a lot of resilience in there. So 3-1. Up and outside, Kalbrenner will take his base. Bases are loaded. Palmer Jacobs, 3 walks issued to the first 4 batters of the game. And it'll bring up the 5-hole hitter, Jordan Leininger, with the bases loaded and 1 out here in the bottom of the first. A big chance for Fargo to take an early lead. Coach Clapperich, the pitching coach for Post 22, going to come talk to Palmer Jacobs out on the mound. Alright, I got all my stats down. I am good now. So bases are loaded. So 1 out. Bases loaded to the center fielder Jordan Leininger. The lights are on here at Fitzgerald Stadium. You can see all the clouds in the sky. We're trying to avoid that thunderstorm, which seems to be coming in about T-minus 2 hours. So 1 out. That's another high one. Palmer looking a little wild. Two out. That's a strike. So Palmer finds the zone, and it's a 2-1 count. Leininger, even a productive out, like a good grounder to the right place, or a fly out could bring in a run, break the tie. That is way outside. Palmer Jacobs on the verge of giving a run away for free. He's given up every single base now. He's going to have to start giving away runs. 3 walks in the first 4 batters here. And he's on the verge of a 4th. The pitch, that'll do it. So Fargo walks in a run. Palmer Jacobs looking effectively wild out there. Lee Negebauer warming up in the bullpen just in case for the Hardhats. Their starter came out the gate missing the zone. It's not even that the Fargo batters are doing much. It's that Palmer beating himself right now. This Fargo team could definitely beat him with their bats if that was their plan. I'm sure they could at some level, but they don't have to right now because Palmer's imploding here on himself. And now up comes Jackson Beiswinger. Oh, they're going to come talk to Torby. Is that going to be it? Wow. 1 out for the starter Palmer Jacobs in what will likely be the final game of his career. Coming out now to start off the game, we got to give a big round of applause to Palmer. What a great guy. Wish him the best at Mount Marty. That's a rough way to end it. Technically, I don't know if he went 30 pitches. He might be eligible tomorrow. It might just be clicking the reset button on his start and saying, you'll hit it tomorrow kind of thing. But Lee Negebauer going to come out to the mound now. So Lee Negebauer, the big lefty, Negatron, going to come out. And he will face Beiswinger, trying to get out of the mess Palmer has made. Palmer's got to be beating himself up in there. But I agree with the coach's idea. You can't think of, a player's confidence if they're not going to ever pitch for you again. You got to just think about winning the game. Lee Negebauer was lights out in the start of the year. Back half been a little bit more shaky. Has an ERA about 3.4. A reminder, that is 3.4 earned runs per 7, not 9. So it means a little bit more in terms of runs compared to what you would expect in college or the pros. That's probably equivalent to about a 4.2 in the pros. Lee did come out for a single inning of work in a loss, in the loss against Yankton in the state tournament for the Hardhats. So Lee's getting ready. So Jackson Byswinger coming in, and with the bases loaded, gonna have a chance to break this game even further open. Lee forces the fastball past him. Lee hitting high 80s with his fastball. The left-handed starting pitcher or starting quarterback for St. Thomas More High School here in Rapid City, South Dakota. He is getting ready. That is low. Make it 1-1. One count. That's low. Lee throws a fastball below the zone. Lee's arsenal, he's got a fastball, changeup, and a curve, to my knowledge. Maybe his best pitch. Well, his best pitch is the fastball, but the changeup a close second. 2-1. Popped up, out of play. Make it 2-2. So here we go. 2-2 count. Lee Negebauer does get a lot of Ks for a pitcher. He holds the season high of 10 in a game against Watertown out there. So 2-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 on the changeup. There it is. And that's out number 2. So Negebauer gets a K. That's crucial when keeping this game tight with Fargo here in the bottom of the first. First strikeout of the game for Lee. Second strikeout of the inning overall. And Jonah DeYoung going to take his first at-bat of the regional tournament. That's going to be grounded over to Roberts. He handles it. That'll be the inning. So Lee Negebauer comes in. He puts out the fire. Good move from Kelvin Torby, and it pays off. And so 1 run comes across on the off of the starter Palmer Jacobs. And Fargo Post 2 does possess a lead, though a narrow one, 1-0 going into the second inning. So good poise there shown from Lee Negebauer in that inning. Fargo, 0 hits, 0 runs, 0 earned runs. There were no hard hat errors, and 3 men left on base. It is, there was 1 run, and it was earned to Palmer Jacobs. Sorry, my bad. Forgot. And so it is 1-0. Now, the Hardhats going to get ready. So no hits during that first inning for the Hardhats. They had 1 hit, no runs, no earned runs, no errors, 1 man left on, and made a 1-0. Now the 5, 6, and 7 are due up for the first time. Hardhats fans, a little upset they're down early to Fargo, but I don't know, it could have been a lot worse. 4 runs were allowed in the first inning last night by Hayden Leidy against that Elkhorn South team. And nonetheless, they were able to get 6 hits off, or they were able to get 6 runs across 2 innings, the first 2 innings of the game, off of Oregon Duck starter, the new future Oregon Duck starter, Michael Mechna. So up comes Hayden Hollick. He's not usually a leadoff man, more of an RBI guy. Strike right down the middle, make it 0-1. On day 2 of this tournament, both teams really could use this win. A big swing and a miss, way behind that one. Hollick not only behind it, but underneath it. And now it's no 2 count. Kalkbrenner ahead in the count. The right-handed lefty. Well, he's righty on the mound, lefty at the plate. Interesting combo. I always wonder how that is. Like, how can you be coordinated enough to throw with one, but not hit with it? You're not a switch hitter? Or how could you be so good at throwing, at batting lefty, but you can't hit lefty? It's just kind of weird to me. 1-2. I know that pitching, you kind of go with the arm you got, but if you could bat left-handed and you could pitch right-handed, surely you could also hit right-handed, right? That's my thought. But maybe it's more simple than that. 1-2. Kahalik skies that one into center and caught. So first out recorded by Kalbrenner here in the top of the second. It'll bring up the center fielder, Ridge Inhofer. Inhofer, a walk merchant. He has 6 up in his last 4 games. He went 0 for 1 last night. That is grounded. It's going to be muffed by the third baseman. So the third baseman, hand-eye coordination not quite there. And an error on Jackson Byswinger will allow the man to come in. Ambidextrous is the word, but if you're ambidextrous, you should also switch hit, right? I guess if you're good at one and if you throw one way, there might be a word for that specific situation too. So E5 will allow Ridge Inhofer on the base paths. He is fast. He did steal a base last night against Elkhorn South. That's a strike delivered down the middle. Clouds are getting darker. Yeah, we're getting a little scared out here, but the Weather Channel says it shouldn't happen until about 9. 0-1. Remember, we can deal with a little bit of rain. That's a soft one over to short. Handled in time. They throw back. Not going to get him. Out number 2 on a little pop-out situation there by Phillip Bentz. So now Zeke Farley, the 2022 All-State outfielder for Post 22. Had a little bit of a less successful year this year. He is going to take his first at-bat of the Central Plains Regional. It's the second of his, maybe third of his Central Plains Regional appearances. Hardhats hosted last year and won state. And I think he was on maybe one of the other teams that won state back in his freshman year. That's grounded up the middle over to short. Underhand a second in time. So that error does not come back to haunt Fargo. And nobody scores in the top of the second. Going into the bottom of the second, Fargo still leads 1-0. So to recap for the Hardhats in that inning, no hits, no runs, no earned runs. There was 1 error on the third baseman Byswinger, and 1 man is left on base. 1-0 still. But Lee Negebauer showing some promise at the end of that last inning. When he's on, he's on. And we'll see if he can step up to the bright lights out here at Fitzgerald Stadium. Mine are just like fully bright outside. The lights are on because it's just because the clouds are just so crazy. Got some very tall, big clouds up there. I do see a wall of rain from further down the mountain where some of the clouds are. I'm not seeing the same thing on the right side though. Might just be a wall of rain over there. Hopefully. Let me relook at what the forecast looks like now. Severe thunderstorm warning around for 8:45. Okay, severe thunderstorm warning 8:45. We have a time. Uh-oh. So it's 7:03 now. We got to be out of here by 8:45. Because it could get ugly after that. Every game has gone pretty short, though. A little less than 2 hours on most of them. And we did get started at 6:30. But if this thing goes over 2 hours and maybe a little bit longer, then we could be in trouble. As hail as possible. And that thunderstorm should not let up till the morning. So Lee Negebauer delivering now to Brady Manley. First pitch ball. One out count. That's a strike right down central, so now we go to a 1-1. Negebauer. Delivers. A little bit low. Some of the Hardhats fans thought that was in the zone. I don't know. I kind of agree with the ump on that one. Lefty on lefty matchup here. Yeah, there's a little more honor to that. Yeah. I hear you, Igor. Well, we might be the home team, but we got to earn it. This Fargo team is 43-6. Gonna be a tough out. So 3-1. Swing and a miss on a high pitch there. Lee's able to draw a high swing from Manley. Negebauer wipes his nose or something over there and gets ready. The payoff pitch. Ordered and delivered low. And that'll be a walk. So a leadoff walk from Manley. Helpful for the Fargo Post 2 cause. It'll bring up Wyatt Kozadowski. Kozadowski yesterday against Eden Prairie put up, was 0 for 2 with a walk and a run. Shows a bunt, pops it foul, and scares a kid in the front row. Yeah, no, we're not going to talk about that at all. Because lightning won't hurt the players. It'll hit the it'll hit the big lightning rods we have installed, aka lights. That'll happen regardless of if we're playing or not. So 0-1. Bunt put down, bouncer, so 0-2. No likelihood it's going to hit those towers up there. So an 0-2 count for Kozadowski. Kozadowski did have a K in the last game. Negebauer checks on the runner. He will throw back. Scampering back to first, Brady Manley. Alex Dietrich sharing a laugh with Manley over at first base. So an 0-2. Negebauer does have 1 K on the day. Looking for the first out of the inning. That's grounded right back at him. He's going to throw over to short. It's a bad throw, and he will not even get the out. A bad throw, trying to rush it for the double play. Keeper gets on the ground, tries to do it. He lays on the bag and tries to pick it up, but just keeps fumbling it around, and that'll go down as an error on Lee Negebauer. So instead of a double play, 2 men on, nobody out. Those are the kind of mistakes that cost you games like this. Phil gives the sign of the cross. I don't think that's exactly what he did, but it's pretty close. No, we're not the home team. We are the top team. We are the team on the away side here. That's what happened in Yankton. We got to be the home team in the game against Yankton where we lost on their turf. So first pitch, shown bunt. That's a strike nonetheless. Philip Bentz thinks about throwing. He does not. Philip Bentz is dialed in. I've seen it in his eyes. He wants everything here. He's not going to let this team come anywhere short of Shelby. If there's anything he can do about it, he will. So an 0-1 count now to the leadoff man, Offshock. Offshock drew a walk, came around to score, and the last time, that's another strike. So another time the bunt is shown, and is the bunt shown, and a strike is thrown. So now 0-2, you gotta watch out for a foul bunt, which would signal a strikeout if Offshock were to do it. The sacrifice bunt is clearly what they're going for. But do they want to risk it with 2 strikes? Offshock, an accomplished hitter in his own right. 0-2. That's a bouncer. Bence blocks it. Moves to a 1-2. One, two. High pitch, sat off on by Offshock. He watches it. Yeah, that's supposed to happen at 8:45 though. The Weather Channel told me. They know things. I'm just playing around. All right, 2-2. I'm just really not wanting this game to get canceled because we'll have to play it in the morning, and it'll be a doubleheader for both teams as they'll play a second game that day. Strike three! Negebauer locates on the edge of the plate, taking down Offshock, and strike out number 2 of the day for Negebauer, out number 1. Brings up Landon Meyer. Meyer, the 2-hole hitter, batted 1 for 3 yesterday. He got a walk earlier. Valley's getting crazy rain. That's awesome. We aren't. Yeah, the fit's not. We are dry as a. I don't know. I'm losing it. I was gonna say seashell, and it's like, what do you mean? They're in the sea. I'm gonna go dry as a cactus. That's my best bet. High. Make it 2-0. Count. Think about Stomata now. I see you guys getting rain over there. I see it. High. It's not this side. Yeah, I see that area that we go all the time. Yeah, that's definitely getting rain. It's just not happening on this side of the cloud. I can see a wall to your side. Nothing on our side, though. I do see something hanging over right field, though, on that mountain over there. I don't like what I see over there. So 3-0, that'll be a walk. And the bases are loaded with 1 out here. Fargo, yet again, plenty of men on with a chance to drive in some runs. Hardhats beating themselves right now. Fargo just letting them do it. Nobody, weirdly enough, Fargo, no hits in this game. No hits. 6 base runners. Yeah, the other guys are baseball fans. Well, they just want to see Fargo and Post 22 play. Yeah, they do. They are baseball fans. They also just want to see the kids play. You know? What's the harm in that? Post 22 can maybe take a day off, though. They are not pitching too great right now. A lot of wild ones. That's 5 walks, or 6 walks given out. That's going to be lined over to second. Throw to short is low, but handled. Kiefer just gets the run. He's not able to throw to first. It was a low throw from Aiden Roberts, though Kiefer was able to make the grab. So 1 run will come across for Fargo. The runner at second erased, and out number 2 recorded. So an RBI fielder's choice ground out from home will bring up Kalbrenner. Kalbrenner, 5 home runs in the North Dakota State Tournament. He's a real power hitter in every sense of the word. 1-0 count. Thank you all for tuning in to Hardhats TV. Biggest game of the year so far on tap. Strike there, so now we go to a 1-1. Game number 4 of the day, Central Plains Regional. Loser will play elimination game tomorrow against Harrisburg Gold, who won their game today against Williston 1-0. Foul tip, strike 2. Negebauer up in the count now to Kalbrenner. Kalbrenner, not the kind of guy to go down, though. He's reached base 4 out of 5 times he's come to the plate in this tournament. 800 OBP on this fella. So 1-2. Negebauer. Low ball. Sat off on. Kalbrenner unimpressed. Kalbrenner trying to give himself more cushion here. With runners in the corners, 2 outs. 2-2 count. Lee Negebauer. The delivery. Popped up into left. Zeke Farley underneath it. Making the out. So that'll be the end of the inning. Fargo scores another. Lee Negebauer loads the bases and unloads them. But 1 run comes in, and going into the top of the 3rd, a clear lead. Fargo post 2 leads by as many. So to recap, the top of the bottom of the 2nd, Fargo no hits still. They score 1 more run. That run is unearned to Lee Negebauer technically. Though you know my opinion on pitcher errors that they should. Oh no, you guys don't. There's over 400 people in here. Never mind. I was gonna say you guys know my opinion, but you don't. Most of you don't. My opinion, which is that you should get, if the error that makes your run unearned is on the pitcher, on you, that should totally be an earned run. Because the point of an earned run versus unearned run is it the pitcher's fault? If the error's on the pitcher, I think it is the pitcher's fault. So that should be an earned run, you know? Anyways, it goes unearned on Lee Negebauer there. Hope you all, I'd love to hear some input in the chat about that. But that's my baseball hot take, is that runs scored with pitcher errors should be earned runs. So 2-0. Hardhats actually have more hit. They're out hitting this team from Fargo. The 9, 1 and 2 in the due-up. Wilson Kiefer going to lead things off here for the Hardhats. Kiefer Jr. going on senior. Shortstop here. First pitch. Bunt shown. He takes a strike on the edge of the plate. 0-1. Kiefer successful bunt last night. Some unsuccessful bunts in the state tournament. Kalbrenner outside ball. Make it 1-2. That's grounded over to second. Sliding, knocking it down. Throw to first. Not in time. And that'll be a hit for, I believe that'll be a hit, not an error. I believe that's a hit for Wilson Kiefer, an infield single. Yep, counted a hit, an infield single for Wilson Kiefer to lead things off for the Hardhats. Maybe they're starting to get something. I mean, the pitching has kept them closer than they probably should be at this point. And so leadoff single brings up Aiden Roberts. Roberts been cold lately. Charlie Kalbrenner with an insane spin rate and an 89-mile-per-hour fastball max velo. Outside pitch. Kalbrenner, a pitcher first, batter second, and for a guy with 5 home runs in the state tourney, that is something to write home about. So he's got a fastball, changeup, curveball, and slider, according to Prep Baseball Report. Hit hard at Torvey. He doesn't flinch because he's just cool. And now, thank you on the earned run. Appreciate it. Yeah. Anyways. So 1-1. Throw back to first. Not in time. They keep on tagging him just in case. Wilson Kiefer now leading off of first. Aiden Roberts, the freshman, moved up from the Expos mid-year, made a great impact, and has been batting leadoff for about a month. At strike 2, Kalbrenner floats one on the outside. I didn't even know Kalbrenner could even be a better pitcher than he is a hitter. The slider has a spin rate of 2,300. Oh my gosh, are we playing a major leaguer out here? The spin rate on all of these pitches from Kalbrenner is crazy. 2300 slider, 2300 curveball, changeup at 19, and then the fastball at 2100. If you guys know what RPMs are for normal people, you'll know that those are pretty crazy. That's low. And by normal people, I mean the other high schoolers. I've seen a lot of prep baseball report pages. That's the highest slider spin rate and possibly the highest fastball spin rate. Not the highest curveball, but pretty good. Popped up. Shortstop wants it. Makes the grab. So a pop-up will be out, number 2. Bring up Wyatt Reeder on the catch from home. Reeder, 0 for 1. Put down a bunt, unsuccessful, in the top of the first. Kiefer, serious lead off of first right now. Charlie Kalbrenner with his blazing blonde hair. We have a pair of blondies going at it with Lee Negebauer on the mound for the Hardhats. That's going to be lined right up the middle. That'll get through. Wyatt Reeder pokes one into center. He will stay at second for Kiefer. And the second hit of the inning now. Hardhats starting to string something together. The freshman, Wyatt Reeder. He's so good at those. Batting over 400 as just a freshman here at the Hardhat level. He's going to be something special. And you might think, oh man, that kid going to be probably a high D1 baseball player. Probably true. But he's also an all-state hockey defenseman as a freshman. This guy's just great at everything he touches. He's got a bright future in both areas. They throw back to second. Don't get Kiefer. He does a little pull-up bar motion. I don't know if that's what it's supposed to represent. But Harry Good now up. Harry Good has got a single back in the first. He's great. He's the kind of guy that can take on Kalbrenner any day of the week. Outside ball. He'll sit on it. 1-0. Very good. Batted .378. And a home run. And that is that. So 2 men on. 1 out here in the top of the third. Hardhats with a chance to equalize. A big swing and a miss. Harry Good goes down 1-1. One count. All right, 1-1 count here to Harry Good. Very good. Getting ready. Puts down a bunt. A good one, but foul. I mean, he made great contact with it, but a little bit too wide, and now we go to a 1-2 count. Good. He does have a single in this game. He is 3 for 4 on the tournament.
Good evening, everyone. Mike Fell joining Oliver Fell.
Man, you're about 5 minutes before it's about to end. Because that thunderstorm getting closer and closer.
Just saw lightning.
Nope, you didn't.
Months ago.
You did not.
It was to the east.
Doesn't matter.
So
You didn't see it.
Okay.
We're playing this game.
All right, let's play baseball.
So
Keep on
Kalbrenner,
playing.
the 1-2. The weather.com tells me the severe thunderstorm is at 8:45. You did not see that one either.
Yeah, the lightning strikes are to the east, so they're not going to come in this direction.
Yeah, but if they're within a certain radius, it doesn't matter.
Let's say it's out.
Grounded into left. Harry Good gets a single. Now coming home from Kiefer. He will be safe. The Hardhats put 1 on the scoreboard. Reeder's headed for third. He will be out. So some base running against the Hardhats there, but they do get 1 to come back around for him on a single from Harry Good. RBI single.
That was a very big run for the
Oh, I thought you were talking about the
Hardhats.
lightning strike.
I don't talk about the weather
Yeah.
anymore. We're
All
on
right.
the sports. It's like a newscast. You go from weather over to sports. The Hardhats are within a run, and there's only 1 out. Here come the Hardhats
So-
in the top of the third.
So a very rare 7-2-6 put out on Wyatt Reeder. will be out number 2, but an RBI single brings in Kiefer. And that'll hit Alex Dietrich. That one's painful. He's trying to walk it off, but he gets there. So 2 men on. Kalbrenner now in a situation which perhaps could turn into losing this lead. Bringing up Hayden Hollick.
Well, what a day of baseball it's been. 4 more games here at.
No, 3.
Well, we've had 4 games today. This is the game number 4. What a day it's been. We had a chance to listen a little bit to some of the broadcasts, Oliver. Sounding good. What a dramatic 5th inning we saw in game number 3 with that comeback by the Lincoln, Nebraska team.
You watch any Keybirds?
No, I was working.
Oh man, the Keybirds game was a classic. Nobody watched it, but at least from the crowd that's watching this right now.
Right.
But the Keybirds game, a 1-0 pitcher's duel, where the only run came on a solo homer. It was something special. Taking off, a double steal in progress, but they both go to the same bag. What are you doing, Harry? Oh no, what is going on? Harry's just gonna have to take off. Dietrich now going back to first. We're in a crazy 3-wetted pickle, and it gets away! Dietrich running back, and he'll be safe! What just happened?
Well, what happened is nobody executed the proper pickle play or took the initiative to get the base runner with a long running tag attempt. And sometimes these pickles, they're like a sailor's knot. They can be easily untied, and that's what we just saw right there. And the Hardhats live to tell about it. And let's see if they can make Fargo Post 2 pay a price here.
I thought Harry was taking off, and so did Dietrich. And he came back. That looked like they were dead to rights. And they survived. Throw back to second, not in time. But I totally get why they're doing it now.
Well, Oliver, I did see the Harrisburg Tigers team at Buffalo Wild Wings when I had lunch with my boss and my associate, and it was very interesting. The Harrisburg team had a reserved room, kind of in the Denver Nuggets, Colorado Avalanche room at Buffalo Wild Wings here at Bacon Park in Rapid City, and I was looking at the Harrisburg team, and I could honestly not tell if they had won or they lost. They didn't look depressed, but they didn't look happy.
They got really scared by a 24-26 Keybirds team, and Keybirds take them the distance. They had a man on third with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. They just about got out of that, but it was
the Harrisburg team looked like they'd.
It wasn't what they were expecting.
To borrow a phrase, the Harrisburg team looked like they had seen a ghost.
Mm-hmm.
They looked like they really went through something.
Those Keybirds. Well, this is a team that was beating all these teams all year. That felt like an easier matchup for them, I would assume. The Keybirds, on the back of great pitching by the junior Caden, what is his name? Caden Finder, put up an incredible outing. 10 Ks, 7 innings pitched, 1 run allowed, 3 hits total. An incredible performance, but that one solo shot being the difference. Grounded over to short, handled cleanly, throw to second in time, so that'll be the inning. Hardhats do claw 1 run back. They chip away at that lead for Fargo, and going into the bottom of the 2nd, it is going to be 2-1.
I can see here that the Fargo team yet to record a hit, and what can you say about the pitching so far for the Hardhats? Looks like Lee Negebauer is off to quite a good start.
He wasn't the starter.
Oh, he wasn't?
Palmer was the starter.
Oh, okay. Well,
he got pulled after 1 out.
I just got here. I missed some things.
Yeah, we'll make a trade. I'll turn you down, though.
All right. Yeah, I missed a few things here, and I watched the 3rd game of the day, and then drove through a torrential downpour from the house in Box Elder, and as soon as I got to the city limits of Rapid City, the rain completely stopped. It was.
Yeah. Well, it was all right there,
yeah.
out there, over in between them mountains, and I saw it. It came over. It was a big rain wall past Dinosaur Park over there, and it just stopped on our side of the cloud.
All right. I
Very
give a
cool.
shout out to one of the top broadcasters in the Midwest watching tonight. That would be Jimmy Chavez, the longtime
Yay!
voice of the Kansas
How's it
Lady
going, Jimmy?
Jayhawks. Jimmy's checking out the broadcast from Omaha, Nebraska. Hey, Jimmy.
Yeah, shout out to Jimmy. We got a lot of people in here. We're shattering records, all in all.
Yeah,
Plenty of Fargo people here,
that's awesome.
and two very
Fargo,
storied
famous
programs.
for great baseball. How about Darren Erstad, Husker legend, national champion punter, World Series hero for the Anaheim Angels back in 2002.
Man,
He is from Fargo, and he played his baseball in Fargo.
yeah. Inside. Yeah,
Also, Travis Hafner of the Cleveland Indians. He's from Fargo, too.
right now? Is he?
No,
Oh,
but he was an outstanding American League
that's an
slugger
insider.
back in the 2000s.
That's cool. Well, I don't know if they have anything on Williston. That's where Phil Jackson went to high school.
Impressive. Coached and won 11
Titles.
titles with some of the greatest players ever.
That's
played.
grounded up the middle. So a single coming to lead things off here for Fargo. In the third inning, Jordan Leininger able to put that in the gap, splitting the uprights and putting it into center. Byswinger now up. He struck out with the bases loaded, setting up Lee Negebauer's escape from the first inning.
Lee Negebauer, starting quarterback for the St. Thomas More Cavaliers. He's going to
Oh
be
no,
under center
you blew it.
on August 25th against Spearfish.
You blew it. First that was from Jamestown.
Oh, well, thank you for correcting me.
You blew it.
Us Nebraskans, we always thought.
Oh,
he
it doesn't
was
make it
from-
any
he
better.
Was from Fargo.
You're all the same.
We just
All right.
thought that's maybe
Yeah.
we just heard he was from the Fargo area.
Maybe. After from Sykes, you're 0 for 2. That's grounded over to Hollick. He pulls it out the air. Throw low, but handled by Dietrich.
Am I at least in the right state? Please tell me Hafner and yes, Jamestown, North Dakota.
And
Sykes.
Sykes. You're still 0 for 2.
I apologize for striking out. Well, I guess you don't strike out with 2 strikes. Let me think of another player.
Go for one more.
One more I can get wrong here and say it's from Fargo.
Brett Kiesel.
Let's just say that Travis Hafner and Darren Erstad are North Dakota baseball legends.
All right.
And Lawrence Welk is from North Dakota.
You're not even going to go for the Fargo anymore.
Lawrence Welk. He is from North Dakota. A 1 and a 2 and a 3. There we go. Lawrence Welk.
So Jonah DeYoung now up to bat. He's batting for his first time in this game. He is up. He's playing for the first time. His second time batting. He puts that one into right. Now rounding's third and being told to stay will be the runner, Leininger, and DeYoung gets a single. So runners in the corners. This has been the story of the game. But this inning, the first time that they're getting any hits. It was a no-hitter through 2 where 8 men reached base.
Want to give a tip of the hat to those Williston Keybirds and also
Love those Keybirds.
Also the team that
Elkhorn
lost
South.
The Elkhorn South, the PRG gold team, and
Shown low.
they weren't able to record victories in this Central Plains Regional Tournament, but big credit for those 2 teams for getting here, and they certainly represented themselves, their Legion Post, and their communities in a very big way. They played some really good baseball while they were here.
So you missed a big one, Roger Maris.
Oh my, there we go.
There's a real one.
And he played for Post too. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Roger Maris. How could I miss Roger Maris? I'm ashamed of myself, actually.
Rick Helling as well.
Roger Maris, who played for the Kansas City A's.
Put low.
And the New York Yankees, who set the single season home run record, which...
Well, for the AL.
Well, now Aaron Judge holds that record.
Oh, yeah, but the NL beat it like 3 times.
Right, but the NL beat it 3 times on steroids.
Oh, were all 3 of them steroids?
Yes. Bonds, Sosa, McGuire.
Oh.
Yes, all 3 were
Oh,
on
okay.
steroids.
All right.
All,
Sosa's are
all
yeah.
worthy of asterisk.
Well, Bonds did it like 3 times. That was the
With
crazy part.
steroids.
True.
All 3 times.
All right, 0-2. Negebauer. That's popped up. Roberts calling for it. And it's swirling up there. He makes the grab. A little jump up, making sure that he has enough, that it doesn't bounce out of his glove like the other night.
He made it interesting, that's for sure.
So, 2 outs. Now on the pop-up to the second baseman. And that'll bring up the 9-hole hitter, Wyatt Kozadowski. And Hunt from Grand Forks. That's nice.
All right. Ken Hunt.
Wilson Keybirds, Phil Jackson, and Brett Duval, former offensive lineman for the New York Jets.
Well, shout out to all of you NDSU fans. What you have your program, the Bison, have accomplished in the last 13 to 15 years is phenomenal. And that's from one Nebraska fan that knows what it's like to see his team win 3 national titles in 4 years.
Yeah, it truly is something special. Shout out to Mike, voice of the Cavaliers. Oh, it's Austin Hagen, new head coach.
All right,
of the,
Coach Hagen. Shout out to you. Again,
his quarterback's on the mound right now.
Absolutely, and how about Aaron Roach and how great he has played here at this tournament representing STM.
Declan Mickley not made an appearance. He's the other STM Cavalier on this team.
1-1,
1-1, taking high.
He's had such a great year.
He has. That freshman going places. He will be a full-time starter next year, I'm certain of it.
Training camp at Terra Sancta coming up Thursday, a week from today, through Saturday, August 12th. And it doesn't get more special than the 10-time defending Black Hills Conference football champion St. Thomas More Cavaliers.
High ball.
Preparing for yet another great season at Terra Sancta.
All right, Wyatt Kozadowski looking at a 3-1 now. Negebauer trying not to walk the bases loaded for the 3rd time in 3 innings. Just trying to not do that. Fargo has scored in every inning. They've only scored 1 though. That is strike 2. A check swing doesn't matter. It landed in. I'm Oliver Fell. Mike Fell on the color commentary here. So there you go.
Listen to the crowd. They're putting the hands together. Mm-hmm. Here come those claps.
That does lead to full count walks that I've seen, but that is a full count walk. The claps are for walks. We don't want that.
Well, I love the spirit of the Hardhats fans, and they're really making a lot of noise. They're making a difference, and we saw that with the win over Elkhorn South last night for Post 22. Speaking of host teams having success, the Gillette Riders over in the Northwest region, just 2 hours to the west on I-90, they were able to defeat the Alaskan team, Alaskan state champion, in their opening round game.
They beat Rocky Mountain too. They're in the winners bracket.
Look at
They're 2-0.
Wow.
And we beat them 16-0 on the road. You didn't respect the Riders.
Congratulations to the Riders, and they defeat an outstanding Rocky Mountain team that was here at the Firecracker tournament back in early July.
Grounded over to short, handled cleanly by Kiefer. He'll throw to third, get the out. So 3 runners stranded. A lot of men put on, but this time nobody scores. And we will enter the 4th inning with the Fargo Post 2 Hardhats, or Post 2 just team, on the board up 2-0, or 2-1. I'm way off. It's game 4.
It's 2-1 in favor of Fargo Post 2.
Oh, Ratstrom he played on what? Oh, he's from the region of West Fargo? Because as I understand it, the West Fargo Patriots kind of a new Legion team.
Outstanding.
Rapid City Rabbit, Dave Collins.
There you go. I like it. This chat room has got some spirit.
I agree. Well, the reason that he brings up STM is he's the broadcaster for the Cavalier Sports Network at St. Thomas More. So that's the reason that you get STM treatment.
There's a lot of STM pride that I have enough stands
So,
for that question.
I agree. There are like
But I do want
tons
to
of other high
point
school.
out, I just don't know who plays for Stevens, Central, or Rapid City Christian. So please forgive me. I can't shout about players and achievements and accolades that I'm unfamiliar with because I only
There you go. There
broadcast
they
St.
all are.
Thomas War games.
There's all of the.
Oh,
There's
thank
all
you.
of them.
There we go. All right. Thank you, Oliver.
Yeah, handed them all.
So,
Thanks to Evan,
and I just want to
our
say,
information
go
person.
Raiders, go Cowboys, go Scooper. That's hard for me to say go Scoopers. They're in the same conference with St. Thomas More. We'll just say go Scoopers when you don't play St. Thomas More. And go Tigers for Eli Kelly and New Underwood High School. By the way, New Underwood's first football game is at Buffalo, South Dakota, 2 weeks from tonight. That game can be heard on Black Hills Gold Hits, KBSJ 980.
All right, so 0-1 now. Here to the leadoff man. Rocky Mountain beat Alaska. Gillette, who do they beat? I've got them here. I got them on the board. They beat Bellevue, Washington, and then they beat Fort Collins tonight, aka Rocky Mountain High School.
Cheyenne post 6
They went down.
To Pocatello.
They were down 7-0. They came back, put up 6 in the final 2 innings, and dropped.
Man alive. I have to say a big shout out to Larry, the broadcaster, a huge San Francisco Giants fan.
2-1.
Covers Cheyenne post 6.
Just a little outside.
Really very attached to Cheyenne post 6 this year. Hope they can bounce back through the losers bracket and get to the World Series, get to Shelby.
3-1. That's inside. Wyatt Reeder leadoff walk. So he's gotten to base 2 out of 3 times he's been up.
And I'm going to get a Major League Players post and city right this time. Brandon Memo of the New York Mets is from Cheyenne post 6.
That is a sure thing. Oh, wait, that's Ridge Inhofer. I'm wrong, not Reeder. Inhofer. And so Inhofer, leadoff walk. He's been getting plenty of walks lately. Bunt put down, a little bit foul. Yeah, Rocky Mountain lost to Gillette, 7-5. Oh, did I say 7-6? I must have had that mixed up with the Cheyenne game that was 7-6 earlier.
You are, as you mentioned, Oliver, working on your 4th game. You've been behind the microphone since 9:30.
No, it's impossible to hear the guy in the background. Oh, I'm turned the heck up. So I'm not very loud, apparently.
Okay.
I'm all the way up.
You need to change microphones.
Yeah, we might just have to lean in together.
Maybe it's not.
Okay, go for it. Unplug it, replug it. All right, we'll just share a middle microphone.
Nobody can hear the other thing.
Apparently not.
Testing 1 2. Test 1 2.
Appreciate you guys. Love the broadcast. Go Hardhats. Shock the world. Definitely would be a shocking thing. The only team not to reach a state championship in this tournament.
But we got to point it out. The Hardhats defeated
Swing
the
and a miss.
World
Strike
Series
3.
tournament champions on their home field. College World Series defeated the number 18 team in America in a championship game in the Firecracker. The next level baseball team from Asheville. The fact is, the Hardhats take down giants. They've done it all year.
Okay, number 2.
So they are very well suited to make a charge and a run here on their home field at Fitzgerald Stadium in Rapid City.
A bouncer to home, not going to get there, protected by the catcher off shock. But a swing and a miss there for Phillip Bentz will lead to the first out of the inning. Hardhats just 1 out away from tying things. Kalbrenner done a good job on the mound. Hardhats just kind of dancing around on the red hot coals here. Been able to keep it a 2-run game somehow, or only keeping Fargo post 2 to 2 runs despite putting 9 men on the base paths in the first 3 innings. Do something. Yeah, I'd go for it, man.
Check, check, testing.
I don't know. It was working last night.
Testing, 1, 2. I don't know what to say.
All right. 1, 2. If you want to hop in, I mean, lean in, you know.
I think we're okay.
I mean, if they can't hear you, there's no harm in you talking, you know. If they can't, then they can hear you a little bit. So 1-2 count. Carl Brenner ahead in the count. Throws back. It's a good job pickoff attempt, but it gets by the first baseman. They would have gotten Ridge Inhofer had that been caught. Carl Brenner beat the man to the bag, but the ball a little bit low, and so it bounces out of the glove of first baseman Joda DeYoung, making it 1-2.
We give a big shout out to the South Dakota Sportscaster of the Year, Steve Ammerman, watching tonight.
All right, 1-2 count. Over 500 viewers in the chat in the stream. That is a big view break record. That is a soft grounder to third. He slides into first, flexes a little, sign of the cross, and Zeke Farley reaches first. So now 2 men on, 1 out. It'll bring up Wilson Kiefer.
Oh, what a marvelous job right there by Zeke Farley. He just turned it on, left no doubt, got into first base, and now we've got 2 on and just 1 out. And boy, an extra base hit here for post 22 would flip the score in favor of the home team, the Hardhats, here in the top of the 4th inning.
Okay, so 1 out, bringing up Wilson Kiefer. Kiefer got a single his last time up, came around to score, represents the only run on the Hardhats half of the scoreboard. Brenner gives him a pitch inside, gets out the way for ball 1. Okay, 1 out. Inside, ball 2. Or no, never mind. Strike 1. So we go 1-1 count. Thank you all for tuning in to Hardhats TV today. Now plenty of you for the Fargo area rooting on your post too. They're a heck of a team. I would argue they're one of the favorites, if not the favorite, to win this thing. Soft grounder over to third. They throw to second, get the out there. So they retire Farley at second. Out number 2 is recorded, but runner's still on the corners here with 2 outs, and Aiden Roberts comes up to bat. He's been really cold lately.
Well, I think Aiden Roberts is due to break out of any kind of slump he may be in. And, you know, Aiden just very efficient with his swings, and you would never know that Aiden Roberts began the season on the Expos based on just how well he plays.
For all of you Fargo people, Expos are 17 under minor league program.
Yeah. And a very dangerous one. They've had a great season.
They went like 49 and they went 48 and 7 or something.
They've taken down some very good teams this year and challenged others. They represent the future of the Hardhats. And anyway, Aiden Roberts, a real success story. He was called up along with some of his teammates when injuries beset the Hardhats, and then as a number of the players came back, some of the other Hardhats that were Expos went back to the Expos, but not Aiden Roberts. He solidified a spot in the lineup and in the infield, and he has had a marvelous breakthrough season. Number 10, Aiden Roberts.
All right, so Aiden Roberts, he went 0 for 3 last night. He's 0 for 5 in the tournament. He was pretty bad at state in terms of the hitting department. Just been really rough all in all. Roberts takes it outside, and he's got to come through right now, though. A single would tie this game up, and they need it here in the top of the 4th for the Hardhats. Trailing by a single run. Brenner trying to keep this thing in control of post 2. 1-0 count, popped up. That is very playable. Second baseman underneath it. He will make the grab. And so 2 more runs stranded. And that'll be the end of the top of the first. Nobody scores for the Hardhats. They keep it a 2-1. Keep it a 2-1 ball game. Maintain a lead, and Lee Negebauer coming out for his 4th inning of work now. Here in the bottom of the 4th, Fargo trying to score more runs. They, in all likelihood, they should have a lot more. They've got 9 men on base in 3 innings.
And teams that allow the Hardhats to stay around have paid some very high prices throughout this season, and the Hardhats, they have just been so successful at rallying and coming from behind in the late innings, and we'll have to just kind of see how everything plays out. But for right now, for the Hardhats, they're in this game. They're down 2-1, and I'm sure Fargo Post 2 skipper is challenging his young men and saying, "Do not let this Hardhats team hang around, because you can have a false sense of security when you're up 2-1, and at that, you've been out hit in this ball game by 3 hits by Post 22.
All right. So Lee Negebauer getting ready. And leading off this inning for Fargo, going to be the leadoff man of the second man here in the order, Landon Meyer. Popped up, out of play. That'll be strike 1. Landon Meyer drew a walk both of his first times up. He's up to 3 walks in the tourney. So there you go. Plenty of walking for him. That's a hard hit ball into right. Harry Good going back on it, makes the grab. Out number 1 recorded there on a fly out to Harry Good and right. That one had some power, but it didn't find the right spot.
Right now, Lee Negebauer really in a groove out there, and when Lee is locating pitches, pitching to contact, he becomes a very efficient pitcher. He is definitely in fine form this evening.
Low pitch, finds the zone. So now we're going to an 0-1. The man up to bat, Connor Holm. Holm is 1 for 6 in the tourney so far, not having his best. Also made an error on defense against Eden Prairie yesterday. He did reach base this game, but it was on a fielder's choice ground out. Got an RBI for that, though, so 1-1. Take it low, runs away from Bentz, but nobody on to make him pay, so 2-1. Holm, one of the many lefty bats in this lineup, a good balance here for Fargo. 2-1. Taken low. So 3-1 count now, Lee Negebauer. Possibly going to dish out yet another one of the walks the Hardhats have given away all game. 3-1 to Holm. Negebauer not exactly great behind in the count. That is going to be enough to draw the full count now. Holm stares at the pitch that hits the edge of the plate. And we go to a full count. 3-2-1 to Connor Holm. The payoff pitch. Strike 3! Negebauer locates edge of the plate on the outside part of the zone, and that'll be out number 2.
Well, that was a great set of pitches right there by Lee Negebauer. Lee just rubbing up that baseball and getting ready here, looking for a 1-2-3 inning in the bottom half of inning number 4.
Well, he's going to have to get through Charlie Kalbrenner, the hard-hitting lefty batter, righty pitcher here. And so, going to be a tough one to get past the cleanup man. Kalbrenner fouls that one off. He is 0 for 1 in the game, does have a walk, and makes him 1 for 3 on the tournament with 3 walks.
Definitely feel blessed. We have been watching the clouds go around us, not towards us to this point here in the 4th.
8:45 is the expected arrival of that thunderstorm that should last most of the night. That is flared, just misses the lights, and that'll be foul ball. So 1-2 count now here to Kalbrenner.
Oliver, you and I have watched a lot of movies. I keep forgetting to have us watch The Natural, starring Robert Redford.
I know he hits the light out.
And Wilford Brimley
I'm
and
aware.
Kim
You told me.
Basinger.
So 1-2 in the dirt. Once again, nobody to make fence or nobody to have any consequence of the wild pitch there. So it's a 2-2 count.
I forgot Glenn Close is also in that movie, The Natural.
All right. So 2-2 count. Kalbrenner staring at 2-2. Pitch from Negebauer in the dirt, and he works it to a full count. Fargo been dominant so far in their season, 43-6. Didn't lose a single game in their state tournament. Swing and a miss, strike 3! And Lee Negebauer gets the 4th K of the game and strikes out Charlie Kalbrenner to end the inning. Nobody scores in the 4th inning for either side, and we enter the top of the 5th. Hardhats still trail by just 1 run. This upset looking more and more possible.
Well, Lee Negebauer right now doing everything he can to make a very big difference for the Hardhats tonight. And, you know, this is the Lee Negebauer that we saw back in April and May. This is the dominant ace. I'll never forget on the bus ride home, Coach Kelvin Torvey talking to Coach Klapperich and saying, we got another ace. And, you know, this year, just smiling about the performance that he had seen in that pitcher's duel between future Nebraska Cornhusker Bradley Feaser and Lee Negebauer. Negebauer, you know, went inning for inning, pitch for pitch up against Bradley Feaser from Cheyenne Post 6, and that when Lee is on his game, he'll match up and go deep against anybody, anytime, anywhere. That's Lee Negebauer from St. Thomas More.
All right, so Kalbrenner coming out for his 5th inning of work here. He underratedly has actually dodged out of a bit of trouble. I mean, all the eyes have been on the St. Thomas More Cavalier on the mound, who's been loading up the bases and then leaving them be. But Fargo Post 2 has stranded 6 runners through 4 innings, and 5 hits for the Hardhats have amounted to just 1 run. Sequencing not there, but up comes Wyatt Reeder. This is the kind of guy you want up. He's 2 for 2 in this game. Or no, he is 1 for 2 in this game. He got a single. Got him over to second. Was out trying to take third. A base running decision in that 3rd inning where the Hardhats scored 1. On deck, Harry Good, who's 2 for 2. That's hit softly into right. It will be caught. Out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out for Kalbrenner there. Wyatt Reeder goes down.
Wyatt Reeder, I just love the fact that he ran that out. Not for one moment did he slow down. He just went the distance. What a great moment. Let's tell this story. Wyatt Reeder, he hit a home run on Mother's Day in Watertown at one of the oldest stadiums in the United States of America. And his mom was there on Mother's Day.
I don't know if we can say that.
Oh, I think Watertown Stadium might
it's not
be
like Soldier.
One of the oldest stadiums.
It was made in the Eisenhower administration. That's
that was
old.
A long time ago.
That's fouled off. That's old, but it's not all. It's not
Newsflash,
full of the nation old.
The United States highway system also began during the Eisenhower.
That's a good point. Good point. Good point. 1-1. Or sorry, 0-2. Now to Good. Low. Yeah, so the reason this game moving slow is because of the I mean, it is also moving a little slow, but the game started at 6:30 because there was an hour delay for lightning before the game of the Mikes and Spartans earlier today. between Carpetland, the Nebraska champions, and the Minnesota champions from St. Michael, Minnesota. So now we go to a 1-2. Very good. Is 2 for 2 on the game. He's batting 5 for 6 in the tourney. He's coming through when they need him to. And here's another example of when that could happen. Ooh, the whole dugout goes crazy as that's a liner. Somebody falls.
That kind of looked like
That was
a set
Dom.
of blue bowling pins going down as Coach Torrey flips the ball into the dugout.
Yeah, all of them went
close.
down on a liner back there. It bounced off of the netting outside the dugout, but all of them were not taking their chances. 1-2 count. Kalbrenner throws a strike. Swing and a miss. Down goes Harry Good. And that'll be the first time he's out today. Kalbrenner slays the dragon, and out number 2 comes.
It's a great phrase, slaying the dragon. And it's one of my favorite phrases that really popped up big time in the broadcasting lexicon in baseball the last 10 years. Slaying the dragon. Everybody loves to slay the dragon.
All right, Alex Dietrich takes one high. I don't know if I've ever heard that before.
Well, the Padres slayed the dragon last year against the Los
Oh,
Angeles
against
Dodgers
teams.
in the playoffs.
I've seen it against teams, not against players.
Okay, I was just thinking of the Padres taking down the Dodgers.
That is definitely a slaying the dragon moment. So a 1-0. Inside. Ooh, called strike. Nearly hits him. That'll be a ball. The fans not exactly too pleased with that one. Or no, called strike. My bad. That was called a strike. My subconscious said press ball. So 1-1. Kalbrenner throws one in the zone. It'll be nubbed over to short. Throw to first in time. And a 1-2-3 inning. Kalbrenner takes care of business in the top of the 5th. And going into the bottom of the 5th, still a 1-run game. Fargo needs to expand this lead soon.
Important note, it is now an official game, ladies and gentlemen. We are at a place in the middle of the 5th inning where it is 2-1 in favor of Fargo post 2. If the heavens open and the lightning goes crazy and the game gets called somehow, and let's hope that doesn't happen, but if it does, this would be an official lead at this point in time for Fargo post 2 to record a victory without a suspension of the action. So just worth noting, we're at that point of the night here.
Now, none of you Fargo people get any ideas, but that is a good point, as 8:45 is the projected severe thunderstorm arrival time in Rapid City according to weather.com.
And that's 45 minutes from now.
Yes.
It's not 8:45 Fargo time.
8:45
Of course,
Mountain.
that time is past. It's 9 o'clock, by the way, 9:01 in Fargo, North Dakota tonight. We have the, if you hear the song, Take Me Out to the Ball Game, that's the tradition here at Fitzgerald Stadium.
In the 5th?
In the middle of the 5th, since we play 7-inning games, this is when we play Take Me Out to the Ball Game. And
oh, we have a little rain starting.
we have some rain. And again, Fargo,
People
right
putting
where
on their
they wanna
jackets.
be. They have an official lead of 2-1 through the middle of the middle of the 5th inning. So just FYI, Fargo post 2 now has Mother Nature on their side, and they have the scoreboard on their side as well. And now let's move to the bottom of the 5th. Here's Oliver Fell, the voice of Hardhats TV.
All right, strike one delivered by Negebauer there. A lot of people either putting on their jackets / ponchos or moving into the canopied area of the seats here. It's just, I mean, it's a light rain. That is going to be grounded softly over to Hollick. Double clutch, throw to first in time. So the first out recorded from the batter. That's Leininger, Jordan Leininger. And that'll be out number 1. And coming up, Jackson Byswinger. The fact that I'm in hour number 12 of doing this is finally hitting me.
I can, whatever you need.
I know.
The wheel, I feel like
The brain's just not working on
two
100.
of us are driving across the highway at 80 miles per hour here. If you need me to take the wheel, I will.
All right, that's going to be lined into right. Harry Good, not going to get it. He slips out in the outfield. That'll get to the wall. So what should have been a single, now going into second. He's headed for third. The cutoff man not going to be able to make a play, and a triple. It'll go down as such, a triple for Byswinger. of Fargo Post 2. There was just a little bit of a, I think that Harry tried to hold up, and, well, it is getting a little bit slick
Well,
out
it
here.
is. We had a lot of rain earlier this evening.
And right now.
And right now, and it is slick, and that loss of footing, a very instrumental key to that play, as you can make the case that Fargo's hitter was able to take 2 additional bases off of that slip and fall, at least 1 extra base, and that's huge with 1 out. Now, any kind of hard contact likely will give Fargo Post 2 a 2-run advantage here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Absolutely, and 2 runs is a lot better than 1. That being said, the team that has been up by 1 most of this tourney has kind of worked. They were up 3-2 as late as the 6th inning against Eden Prairie. They won that one 6-2 to get here. Shown bunt, I believe that he totally put down a bunt, so that's a strike. Yeah, 0-2. But Eden Prairie, they kind of hung on, kept it close for a while. Then in the 6th inning, they put an extra run on and put on 2 more in the top of the 7th to make it a 6-2 win over Eden Prairie yesterday. That's a called strike on the edge of the plate. Lee Negebauer yet again takes down a Fargo Post 2 player looking. That is the 5th strikeout of the game for Lee.
Well, he really carved the pumpkin with that pitch on the outside corner. That was just a marvelous pitch that really caught the right-handed hitter looking for Fargo Post 2.
Okay, 2 outs now, still a man on 3rd. Plenty of opportunities here. A wild pitch. Lee has been giving out plenty of those. That would bring home a runner. So that's the deal. Rain staying at a steady sprinkling pace right now. 1-0. Negebauer. High pitch. Check swing successful for the batter, Brady Manley. So 2-0 for Brady. This run could be crucial for the Fargo Post 2 win if they're able to do it. Throw back to 3rd. Not in time. Good tag attempt from Hayden Ollie.
That was a very good pickoff move right there by Lee Negebauer. In no way, shape, or form did Negatron, as you have aptly nicknamed Lee Negebauer, tip or telegraph his throw to 3rd base.
Taken low, so up to 3 balls here in this count. Not going too well in Lee's favor, and he's given out plenty of walks this game. Good news for him, though. On deck, the 9-hole hitter, Wyatt Kozakowski. Even if as good as, Kozakowski's a solid threat as well, it's not the top of the order. So he gets to face Kozakowski now, runners on the corners. He's been able to get out of trouble most of the time here. Clapper's going to come talk to him. They're not going to pull him. They're just going to give him a talk at this crucial point of the game.
I think one of the big questions is, are you getting a good grip on the baseball? You know, when it rains, it's not something to be taken for granted whether a pitcher has a good grip on a baseball. We've seen Lee rubbing the ball many times tonight, trying to get comfortable. He has kind of a reset routine that he uses as he steps onto the rubber, and you know, this is a very important part of this game for the Hardhats, trying to keep it a 1-run score here in the bottom of inning number 5.
Okay, well, Fargo Post 2 bordering a hit, and Wyatt Kozakowski, the man that is set to deliver. Negebauer, first pitch, strike right down the middle, 0-1. Kozakowski is 0 for 0 on the game, has a walk, and reached on an error from Lee Negebauer earlier this game as well. So 0-1. Yeah, and everybody stays. It should be noted that you should have seen how the Eden Prairie Eagles bullied the PDG Gold team on the base paths earlier this game. They had 3 defensive indifference advancements to second because they were so afraid to throw there and the guy at 3rd come home.
That's smart.
1-1. That's a strike.
Protect home plate.
Well, there were 2 outs. They could have just gotten the guy at the bases.
Yeah, boy, you just.
They did it 3 times.
I see your point, but again, just man, if I had to program my team, I'd be like, "Thou shalt not cross home plate."
I suppose. 1-2. My point is that you can get the out before the other guy
I
comes
know your
home.
point. I just say protect home plate.
1-2. And he will take off. A ball in the dirt won't make any throw possible anyways. And it's a 2-2. I mean, you're correct, Mark. You totally called it, but the ball wild enough that it would have been a successful stolen base anyways. So runners on the 2 runners in scoring position for Kozakowski now. Lee Negebauer trying to get out of yet another inning. 2-2. Popped up. That's going to be playable. Philip Bentz chasing after it in foul territory. He will make the grab. He falls to the ground, picks it up. His teammates will grab him, and that'll be the end of the inning. Philip Bentz, poised as ever, makes the out in foul territory.
And listen to this crowd. They absolutely love the effort by Philip Benz. You know, it's kind of hard to, Benz, it's hard to get up. Sometimes catch that ball in the lights, in the rain, and I think that Philip had to make a last-second adjustment, but he got the job done, and that bails out the Hardhats from danger yet again. And how about Lee Negebauer and company really bailing out Harrison Good, slipping and falling, and the earlier part of that inning that sent that man with 1 out over to third base, and to strand that runner at third, circle that, because that could be a play where we look back and that might be the ball game. You never know in a game like this.
Well, another factor I didn't even think about until just now. Just how jarring it is to be a fielder looking up at lights and getting water right on your face as you're looking up at him. That's really startling to anybody. You can't. I mean, most people can't keep their eyes open in the shower when they are looking at something like that.
If you're Rapid
And
City,
he's got no hat.
If you're Rapid City, it is so dry. I mean, in Fargo, you folks along the Red River, you get rain all the time. You get that Gulf moisture. I should
Good
know.
summer.
I'm from Omaha, but I'll tell you, when it comes to Rapid City, it is dry. I mean, 325 days out of 365 or 366 features sunshine in Rapid City. This is a very dry place out here.
All right, so nobody on. Leading off this inning is going to be Hayden Hollick. A grounder up the middle, shortstop picks it out the dirt, throw to first in time. So top of the 6th, Hardhats still trailing by just 1 run. And they're fighting against time. But nonetheless, they just got to play their game. If they don't come back and we get out of here in time, it won't matter.
Well, here's the thing with the Hardhats. They are so successful at scoring when they put pressure on the opposing defense. And unless they get on base, they can be neutralized to an extent.
Bunt shown. He keeps it out. That should be a strike. Ball or walk? Oh, they called a ball, so they say he pulled it back. I thought that Ridge held it out long enough to be a strike, but they call it a ball. You should have seen something earlier. Somebody put out a bunt, and they got hit in the thigh, but they held the bunt out. It should have been a strike, called a ball that came in to be a run in a very crucial point in that 6-4 game between Eden Prairie and PDG Gold. So it's 2-0 now. Pollock happily take a walk. Leadoff walk as good as a leadoff, or it's not a leadoff, but a 1-out walk as good as a bases empty, single situation. Nobody on the base paths. Doesn't matter if you get a hit or get hit by a pitch, get a walk. It doesn't matter. That is 4-pitch walk. So Hayden Hollick shows the patience. He will bring up Ridge Inhofer with a man on the base paths. Tying run enters reaches the base paths.
Oliver, I think maybe the scorebook might need an adjustment there. I think
No!
that it was Ridge Inhofer that just reached first base.
Oh, you're right, Ridge. Okay, well, then the scorebook doesn't need any adjustment. I was just reading the wrong line.
Okay.
So Philip Bentz coming up now. He takes a ball outside.
I really miss Philip Bentz former walk-up music, the Leaving Here a Better Man by Clint Black. He
Manager
switched
going to come out and check on
to some
Kalbrenner.
new music recently. Well, we are happy to have you along with us. Big shout out to all of our sponsors. A big thank you to General Manager Wayne Sullivan, who is the tournament director of the Central Plains Regional
He's done
Baseball
it 2 years in a row.
Tournament. And
Not an
we
easy
just
task.
really appreciate Coach Sullivan. He's a legend and a great man in so many ways. And I'll tell you right now, Hardhats baseball in a very special place. The Hardhats were champions of the Firecracker tournament this year, and now Post 22 trying to make it to the World Series, but they're going to have to rally here in this winner's bracket semifinal game tonight, down to their final 5 outs, but only down by a run against Fargo Post 2 here at home tonight.
So they're going to keep Kalbrenner out there. This is not the end of his night, though I believe he's probably been told a short leash in a one-run game like this. Kalbrenner in his 6th inning. 1-0. Bentz drives one into the gap. It's knocked down by the second baseman. Throw to first in time. Great play. Fargo Post 2 steals a single out of right, and the throw coming from Landon Meyer able to pull that one out the grips of the Hardhats. Hardhats looking like they were going to get a hit. He steals one out at right. And the throw able to beat Bentz for out number 2.
Boy, second basemen are not supposed to do that. That was like watching a shortstop exhibit the kind of range to their left or right that you would expect at that position. But traditionally, second basemen are not known for going that deep towards the outfield and coming up with a hard grounder smash. That was a marvelous play by Fargo's second baseman.
Well, he's had his moments. And now coming up with Zeke Farley. So Zeke Farley, he's 1 for 2 on the game, got a single earlier on an infield single. If he can get another single to the outfield, maybe he can bring in Ridge. Ridge has a lot of straight line speed. Takes him a minute to go 0 to 60, but once he hits that, he can max out at a track pace. He ran hurdles at Sturgis High School.
Yeah, all I can say is when Ridge gets going, look out. And not only that, if Ridge is coming towards home plate, there's going to be a reckoning. I'll put it that way. He is a big, strong man.
So 1-0. Fouled off. Make it 1-1. We've hit the 500 mark. First time this year. Over 500 viewers. I mean, we have half the town of Fargo with us.
No, Fargo's a big city.
Oh, I know it's big. I'm just saying that we got a ton of Fargo Post 7s in here.
We're thrilled to
I
have
know.
all the Rapid City and Fargo and folks from all over the Midwest watching this great tournament. Oliver, I want to point out 2 things. Last night we saw a 9-5 put out at first base by Elkhorn South against the Hardhats. And now we just saw an incredible 4-3 play at first base. This is where you plays like those plays let you know that you're at the regional tournament. You just don't see those type of plays made in any other venue or setting.
Well, every game they play here is going to be just as hard as their top 3 games all year, and it's a 1-1 chance. They've kept themselves in this pretty well for given how they started. That's strike 2, and it's been, I don't know, it's just been pretty cool to see. I feel like if you were to look at the game script, you would believe Fargo's leading by 4 or 5 right now. And now it's 2-1. So
Hardhats down to their last strike here in the 6th.
Inside, they call it a strike. So that one catches the inside of the plate. Kalbrenner gets out of trouble. And now one more frame for the Hardhats to make the comeback. Fargo going to try to tack on a few runs here to extend that lead. Currently holding on to a narrow one-run lead entering the bottom of the 6th.
A lot of emotion expressed right there by the ace for Fargo Post 2. Man alive, you talk about a pitcher's duel. It's 2-1. This game very reminiscent of that game in April between Cheyenne Post 6 and the Hardhats with Lee Negebauer on the mound. And I don't know what it is. Lee has a penchant for being in a pitcher's duel, and that is what we have tonight. Every out, every play so important, and it's time to give credit where it's due to both of these teams and coaches for both of these baseball clubs. Only one error committed by each team in tonight's game, and you know, when you don't beat yourself, and we saw last night where Elkhorn South committed 4 errors against Post 22 and became their own worst enemy. When you don't beat yourself, I mean, you had a great chance to win.
Well,
we got a question from Kylie. Does Tom Rudabush still do games? Tom Rudabush is the voice of the South Dakota Mines Hard Rockers. I consider Tom a great friend, and we love Tom. And what a legendary broadcaster for the Hardhats Tom Rudabush has been over the years. Over 40 years of broadcast excellence from my good friend Tom Rudabush.
Yeah, sorry, the second mic doing something weird. Doesn't normally do this. We've been able to 2 mic it all year, but it's doing something right now. So, 0-1. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It's not usually like this, but hey. So 0-1 count to what's that? That's the leadoff man, Sam Offshock, the catcher. It's showing that it's reading something. When you take it out, it makes a noise.
Check, 1, 2, 1, 2.
No, slap it a little.
Let's do this.
Okay.
Check, test. Oh well, we'll just share a microphone.
Yeah. So 1-2 count now here to Offshock. Thank you all for tuning in to this thriller here. All the games today have been a lot closer than the first day, as you would expect, as teams clump together with their companions. That is going to be a high bouncer over to Kiefer. He handles it, throw in the dirt. Good play. Alex Dietrich scoops one out, sidearms it on the ground, and able to make a great out there. That'll be out number 1 here in this inning. That was quite the play. A low throw from Kiefer nearly got away, and instead they got the out. Dietrich, one of the best offensive first basemen I've ever seen in my time, especially at this level. He's got a great future. I'm sure he's going to go to college of his choice for baseball. Swing and a miss. All right, so Landon Meyer, 0 for 1. Popped up. Oh, it's Offshack. Or Oshak. Okay, I got something different on the pronunciation guides here. Yeah. Oh, I got Ovshock. That's what I got on the pronunciation guide from some of the people here at the, from Evan here, the official scorekeeper and records keeper for the regional. That is hit up the line. It is going to be fair. Nope, foul. Just a little bit wide of the bag. I don't know. That was right there. We're up the third base line. We have a great view of that ball, and it maybe hit the corner. But they call it foul. There's a point. You know, you look at the science. Running through the bag always is faster than sliding. The only thing you could think of is if you can reach slightly sooner. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And so Landon Meyer goes down. That's K number 6. Lee Negebauer pulling out the vintage here and doing a great job in relief for Post 22 against Fargo. Coach Torvey's substitution in the first inning, a stroke of genius. Number 2, Connor Holm now up. Holm is 1 for 7 in the tourney so far. 0 for 3 today, including a pair of strikeouts, 1 looking, 1 swinging. to two different pitchers, Palmer Jacobs and Lee Negebauer. 0-1. A little low. We'll take it. 1-1. Grounded over to second. Roberts handles it. Throw to first in time. So that will be the end of the inning. A quick 1-2-3 for Lee Negebauer. No more runs come across. And entering the final frame of play here in this semifinals matchup, Fargo holds on to a narrow 2-1 lead over this Post 22 Hardhats team. Fargo Post 2 going to have a chance to close things out here in the 7th inning coming up.
Well, here it is, the Hardhats and Fargo Post 2 putting everything into the 7th inning with a 1-run score. Winner of this game going to advance to take on the outstanding Lincoln, Nebraska Carpetland team that won earlier tonight in the winner's bracket game. And man, what can you say? This has just been a very clean, well-played game. And one thing is clear after 13 innings of action for Post 22, they belong here. I mean, they defeated Elkhorn South impressively last night, 9-5, and now the Hardhats have literally gone the distance against Fargo Post 2, pushing their ace onto the mound for the 7th inning in this epic pitcher's duel between the starter for Fargo Post 2 and Lee Negebauer, who came in almost right as soon as the game started for Palmer Jacobs for Post 22. And this is what it's all about. And to tell you all about it here in the 7th inning, here's Oliver Fell.
So we're going to get the 9 and then the top of the order. The 9, 1, and 2 in the due-up, and they're going to put on Kalbrenner. Kalbrenner has pitched the previous 6, only allowing the 1 run. He has allowed quite a few guys to get aboard, stranded a lot of runners, but he is going to try to go the distance here. He's going to try to hold in this narrow 2-1 lead and close things out. Of course, if it doesn't go right, they do get a hitting side of the line. They do get a hitting side of the inning. They will have a chance to respond if things go awry, but nonetheless, Kalbrenner trying to close things out here, get that win, secure themselves another round in the winner's bracket, and get to face that that Nebraska champion team. Wilson Kiefer, the leadoff man for the Hardhats, he will take ball 1. Kiefer, 1 for 2 in the game. He reached on a fielder's choice back in the 4th inning, had a single, came around to score the only run of the game in the last one. So if the only guy to score is your leadoff man, not a bad deal. He led off that inning too with a leadoff single. So there you go. 1-1 count to Wilson Kiefer. Kalbrenner, stretch. That is going to be softly grounded over to first. Who's covering the bag? Kalbrenner is, and he just about does. Wilson Kiefer tumbles. He sells out, trying to stretch his leg to reach that bag first. He does not. Kalbrenner wins the race, and that'll be out number 1.
Well, it's time here for Aiden Roberts. Big moment, big situation. He's not a threat to hit a home run, but he is very hard to get out. If Aiden can just get on base, anything's possible here in the 7th.
Well, for the leadoff man for Post 22, he is on one heck of a cold streak. He is 0 for 7 in this tournament now. A walk would be just fine, though. He's a fast base runner. He's down in the count 0-1. Kalbrenner pitching to a fellow Blondie. Take it high, 1-1. Really blonde battle on the mound between the hardly even blonde Lee Negebauer. He's bordering on white hair. And then this very strong blonde Carter Kalbrenner. Or wait, no, not Carter. Charlie Kalbrenner. So, and it'll be taken. So it's 3-0. I must have had something wrong. Apparently it's 3-0. According to the scoreboard, they must have had something wrong over there. So it's 3-0 now here to Aiden Roberts. Strike given. Let's see what they show up. Yep, 3-1. 3-1 the count. Aiden Roberts. Getting ready. That's strike 2. Brenner throws one right down the pipe. Challenges Roberts to swing. Roberts denies the challenge. He will wait one more pitch. So a 3-2-1 count. Hardhats need a runner on base to tie this thing up. Brenner serves him one. That's fouled way out of play. That one, very good contact from Roberts. That one probably went about 315 into foul territory. It went over the fence into the parking lot out there. So full count is swung on into left center. It's going to be going in, down. It gets to the wall. Aiden Roberts rounding second. He will be told to hold up. He needs to get back to the bag. He does. A double. Aiden Roberts comes through in the clutch, gets his first hit of the tourney at the right time. One out here in the the top of the 7th. Hardhats tying run in scoring position.
You had a feeling about Aiden Roberts. He's just made for big moments. This is what Aiden Roberts does best. And that foul ball, you called it, Oliver. He hit the ball to where the disposal site usually is located. He definitely got a great swing on that last pitch.
So he breaks the curse. And up goes Wyatt Reeder. Reeder 1 for 3 in this game. They check back on Roberts. If they're able to get that pick off, it would be huge in the trajectory of this game. Though a thrown gone wild, putting the man to third would also be a large turning point. So the tying run in scoring position for the Hardhats here. Back up against the wall. Wyatt Reeder, the freshman batting 400, going to be up to bat. 1-0. Wyatt Reeder. A lot of things this guy can do. I don't think this is above his pay grade. So 1-0. On deck, Harry Good. Went 2 for 3 in this game. He is 5 for 8 in the tourney. Strike on the outside of the plate. Brenner able to locate that one. Hardhats have made plenty of comebacks here at home. Most of them in the bottom of innings. They have 5 walk-offs this year. And 1 run is kind of small compared to most of the ones they come back from. The only one I could think of, they entered down by a run against Pierre in the 7th inning, and they beat Pierre, so it's now 1-2. So Reeder, strike away from being retired. Brenner has plenty of those strikeouts on his resume, most of them looking. He has 4 Ks to his name today. 1-2 count. Big at bat here. Wyatt Reeder, the stance. Brenner checks on the runner. He will deliver. Popped foul, out of play. And he'll fight to see another pitch. Looking at a 1-2 now. It's true, same thing as Aiden, though significant less distance on that one. 1-2 count. Pivotal point in the game here. Wyatt Reeder awaits the 1-2. Brenner checking on the man at second. Called strike 3! Right down the middle. Reeder tracks it. Decides he doesn't want it. Doesn't matter. That one's over the plate and in for the strike 3. Out number 2 here. Down to their final out. But coming up is Harry Good. The guy you want at the plate right now. 5 for 7 in the tournament. Batting .370 on the year. He's come through in a lot of big moments. This one not above what he's been able to do.
Would not be shocked to see Harry Good hit one over the fence here and send the Hardhats fans into delirium yet again this year.
He leads this team with 6 home runs. Had a walk-off 2-run homer against Next Level. He definitely swung for the fences on that one. No tag applied. That was pretty close. Nearly got the feet of Roberts before he got back there on a pickoff attempt from, I'm hearing Oshock in the chat, 0-1. But Harry Good trying to do that. He did punish Next Level Baseball. They were down 3-4 entering the game. Oh, catcher getting told off by the ump. Okay. All right, Oshock having a quick convo with head umpire for this game. So 0-1 now for Good. Good, 2 for 3 on the game, 5 for 7 in the tourney. Leads this team in home runs. A single might be good enough. That's a little bit off. Good eye from Good. Now moves to a 1-1. Very good. The senior headed for Northeastern Junior College in Sterling, Colorado, in a couple of days. Whenever his season ended, the coach said. Fouls that one off. Very good. Now down to his last strike. Brenner with a chance to secure the win here for Fargo. Go the distance for post 2 and finish this game. We have 560 people on the edge of their seat waiting on this next pitch. One, two. Brenner delivers. Just got a piece of it. Very good. Going to make Brenner use that arm a little bit more to get out of this one. So a 1-2 count. Very good. Still hanging on. This is the man you want at the plate. And for post 2, it's the guy you want on the mound. Good, deep breath. That's what Coach Ewing told him to do before he hit that 2-run homer. He said, breathe, why don't you? He hit that 2-run homer, walked off the game against Next Level. Takes a deep breath here. Brenner. Swing and a miss, strike 3! He flexes. That'll be the end of the game. Fargo, post 2, wins it. Post 22 will be sent to the losers bracket where they will meet for the first time this year their South Dakota compatriot, the Harrisburg Gold. And that is quite the win. Fargo goes the distance, wins a tight one, 2-1. They will see the Carpetland Lincoln East Spartans tomorrow. So Fargo post 2 closes that one out. Complete game for Brenner, and he gets the win. That's the final here. Fargo post 2, 2. Rapid City post 22, Hardhats 1.
Very impressed by the effort of both of these teams, and for Fargo post 2, a huge step forward. Not very many teams this year have been able to come into Rapid City and win at the Hardhats at Dave Flew Field. Fargo post 2 up to the task, and congratulations, a huge step forward for all of the folks here with Fargo post 2, and we are going to have some great baseball coming your way tomorrow and all weekend long. And Oliver, this will be our last broadcast together of the summer, and it's been awesome. Just leave it at that. And to all you fans out there, it's been special. I had fun being with many of you Hard Hat fans before Oliver made the trek north to Rapid City from Phoenix and Arizona State University, and man, I'll tell you, it is very, very good. So, well, we have to just say this was really special, and thanks everybody for tuning in.
All right, so that'll be the end of the game. If you guys are wondering, tomorrow, the winner of that Game 6, I got to see who that is on the bracket. Which one was Game 6? Well, that would have been Game 2 of the day, right? So we will actually see the Hardhats in the morning up against the loser Game 7. No, this is the Minnesota rematch. The Minnesota Championship rematch between Eden Prairie Eagles and the St. Michael Mikes is going to be an elimination game at 11 a.m. Mountain Time, 12 p.m. Central Time tomorrow morning. And then we will have the Hardhats up against Harrisburg Gold. So back-to-back in-state matchups, and that'll be the end of it. They will be elimination game 3:30 approximately, and at 6 o'clock we'll have our winners bracket game between the Nebraska champion Lincoln East Spartans and this Fargo Post 2 team. So thank you all for joining us. 11 a.m. tomorrow, 3 o'clock will be the 3:30 Hardhats, and then Fargo at 6 o'clock. Make sure you're around. Thank you all for watching. For Hardhats TV, I'm Oliver Fell, and saying goodnight from my partner Mike Fell from Rapid City, South Dakota. Final score, Fargo Post 2-2, Rapid City Post 22, Hardhats 1. I will see you tomorrow.